countdown to the game of the century kicks off with the North Penn Television pregame show, next on North Penn Television. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to War Memorial Field for the North Penn Television pregame show. I'm G. Alongside of me is Ken Myers. It's a perfect night for football, and this is the game that everyone has been waiting for. The game of the year, the game of the century.
That's right, G. We couldn't have asked for a better matchup. Patton versus Patton, father versus son, undefeated versus undefeated for the league crown.
The rivalry between these two teams ignited as Coach Patton Jr. marched on to War Memorial Field undefeated 2 years ago with the 1st Knights Regiment under his command. They matched up 3 times, and Knights are 0-3 against the Bucks. And North Penn alumni Kyle Berger was there since the beginning of the rivalry. He's with us tonight, fresh from Coral Gables, Florida. Welcome back, Kyle.
Hey, G, it's great to be here, G. And first of all, thanks to Bob Gilmer and Mary Fakis for giving me this opportunity to come back and witness, in my opinion, one of the great rivalries in the nation. But you talk about rivalries, we're trying to fit 10,000 people into this stadium that seats about 6,000. Well, down back from University of Miami, they're going to play in the Orange Bowl tonight, 2 high school teams. It's pretty similar to this matchup. You have Northwestern High on one side of the coin. You have Northwestern, who is the defending Florida Class 6A champion. That's the large school division. And they're playing Jackson High School, who is the 3rd-ranked team in the state. Sounds awfully familiar, right? 10,000 people here tonight. Try 50,000 in the Orange Bowl down in Miami, Florida. I'll be down here all night along with Dan Keene giving you updates from the sideline. So for now, let's send it back up to the press box with G and Ken.
Thanks, Kyle. Now let's take a look at the standings between these two teams. Now, CB West on top, 8-0, 9-0 overall, with North Penn right behind them, 9-0 overall. Now, it can go either way. North Penn can be on top, and CB West can be second, but the rating so far has CB West on top, and tonight's going to prove what the difference is going to be. Undefeated at 9-0 overall with their explosive running game of Heike Johnson, the senior running back. So far, Johnson has rushed for well over 1,000 yards and broke the 3,000-yard rushing record this season. Similarly, the Bucks stand 9-0 overall and are ranked first in the state with the aid of their unstoppable fullback, Dustin Picciotti, who leads the Bucks in every single rushing category. Picciotti rushed for 2 touchdowns against the Knights last year in the first round of the district playoffs.
These 2 powerhouse running backs are going to be the major offensive weapon for both teams. These are 2 very different backs. Heike Johnson has the speed and the agility in contrast to the power and the size of Dustin Picciotti.
Now, when you look at the head-to-head matchup between Heike Johnson and Dustin Picciotti, they pretty much have similar number of carries. But Dustin Picciotti, if you look, has less yards but more touchdowns, meaning he's a fullback, and they're going for more short yardage plays with him. Now, both of these teams knew as soon as they were scheduled to meet tonight that they could be playing as number 1 and 2 for the league title. Both of these teams are undefeated. Both of these teams are in the playoffs, and depending upon how well they perform in the playoffs, they may meet again.
Well, gee, that's very true. What has to happen tonight? North Penn has to be able to win against Central Bucks if they want to face them again. Now, if you compare both teams' statistics, you'll notice that they're very similar. North Penn, with yards rushing, has more with 2,528 compared to CB West, 2,127. However, CB West has more passing yards, 815, compared to North Penn's 512. points so far, CB West leads North Penn in that category with 346 compared to 314. Points allowed for North Penn is also greater for CB West. They've only allowed 41, in contrast to North Penn allowing 45. But total yards in the overall category, North Penn has more, 3,040 compared to 2,009 So two very similar teams, as we will see tonight.
Both of these coaches said that they're going to rely on their running game, but they might throw in some passes while at it. We have a standing room only capacity crowd here at War Memorial Field. These fans understand the rivalry and the importance of tonight's game. North Penn held its first pep rally in 3 years to boost the team's energy level and show their support. North Penn television reporter Dan Keene was on location last night at the pep rally at North Penn. He's down by the sidelines. Dan?
Hi, thanks, G. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, I have never seen a team more pumped than North Penn was last night. It was just absolutely incredible, the energy in that gym. It was just amazing.
That happened. I mean, it's the quality of the people, after all. They were so loud. It was incredible. I loved it.
The night began as the entire North Penn Knights varsity football team took the floor. After some deafening cheering from the crowd, the festivities began, led by the Masters of Ceremonies, Mike DeFinis and John Benedicts.
I think it's about time we beat them. They're completely overrated this year, and this year's our year to take care of them. We'll take care of them, no problem.
The CB West Buck and the North Penn Knight had a matchup of their own in a 3-round fight to the finish. Also highlighting the night were the final Lifesaver contest, plenty of free t-shirts, and a Peg the Buck contest. So, was the night successful?
I thought it was tremendous. It was just a great show of support. It's so typical of the fans that have followed us all year. I mean, I knew this was a special season, and I told the group this, that when we walked out for the St. Joe's prep game and we went out for warm-ups, normally when nobody's ever at the stadium, there was already a huge group of Blue Crew people there. They were tailgating, and it's just, we've had a tremendous following all year, and it's just a tribute to the school spirit that exists here and the types of kids that go here to North Penn. It's great.
And there may be more rallies to come.
You know, I mean, maybe even in basketball season, wrestling season, something like that. You know, the teams keep doing well. We keep having, reactions like this. I'd love to see us do more pep rallies.
And I'll tell you, after all that, I mean, the North Penn fans are they're unbelievable as far as rowdiness goes. And they will I think, depending on how this game goes, they will continue to get rowdier and continue to get better. And that's about it. I mean, they really have shown support for their team, and as Mr. Pettin said, they're great. Live from the sidelines, I'm Dan Keene, back to G.
That's right, Dan. The energy and the hype from last night carried over tonight as the fans arrived early today at the stadium and roasted a 200-pound pig. And they continued on with the tailgate party, and you can see there the 200-pound pig as everyone continued on partying.
Yeah, G, well, this translates, as you look at this video, of course, fans coming out. This is a big emotional boost for this North Penn team. It's very important that you have a big fanfare on hand. They will be able to go out with emotional ups. They know that they have fan support behind them. That really translates into good play on the field.
The fan factor is in full effect, and the media is not letting this game alone. ESPN, Comcast Sportsnet, NBC, ABC, CBS are just some of the major networks organizations that are here to cover this game. Now, looking at tonight's factors, now equating every aspect of this game into tonight's game, how do you see this game developing?
Well, I think for North Penn, the most important factor tonight is to stop the inside run. They must stack the line. 5 men up front, bringing the secondary close, eliminate the middle running game, and eliminate Dustin Picciotti. Of course, the other side on the other side of the ball, offense, North Penn must continue to run the ball. Mix plays up, outside rushing, inside rushing, throwing a few passes, and I think they will be in excellent shape for tonight's game.
That's right. This should be a great matchup on this very wonderful night. And I'm G. Yoon along with Ken Myers and the field reporters Kyle Berger and Dan Keene. Stay tuned for the opening kickoff of the game of the century. Next on North Penn Television.
You don't have to like me.
Or you can. You don't have to be my friend.
But you might like me if you got to know me.
You don't have to be my roommate.
I am gonna be your neighbor. You don't have to run with me.
You really don't have to run away from me. You may not like what I have to say.
But hear me.
Hear me out.
Man, we're not all that different. I like good food.
Good music.
I love my mom. I want to fall in love.
Madly. I want a good job.
I want my kids to live in a world
where they are safe and loved and respected for who they are.
You don't have to like me, but if you talk to me,
You might.
we can end prejudice if we talk to each other.
Call.
Tell us what you do.
Together we can build one America.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a million-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. Earthshare.
Welcome back to War Memorial Field as the fans are going wild. Kyle Berger is by the sidelines. And Kyle, how does it feel to be down there?
Well, I'll tell you what, G. This year's game, you look at CB West, North Penn, both coming into this game undefeated. Obviously, the same hype as always. But there are some differences between last year's game and this year's game. The biggest difference, in my opinion, is the battle of the trenches. CB West's offensive line, they're missing the Wilson twins and Ben Carver, both going to Division I programs. All three of them going to Division I programs on full rides. And they're a lot smaller this year. Their center is only 195 pounds. Chris McKelvey gets the start tonight for North Penn on the defensive line. Look for him to disrupt the rushing game and make some sticks on Dustin Picciotti. Let's go back upstairs for the kickoff, G.
That's right. Both of these offense are very tough, but both of these defense have a record of keeping the offense in check with 5 points per game.
Yeah, G, absolutely. So far, the CB West has held teams to 41 points per game, and North Penn not far behind him, holding teams to 45 points per game.
And kickoff return by Aaron Thomas up to the 23-yard line.
Gee, it's extremely important that the special teams gain ground in the beginning to allow North Penn to be able to get off to a good start. It's very important that they strike first here.
So North Penn and White will take charge. First and 10, Clay Kuklick. Hand off to Johnson. Wrapped up by number 44, Angelina Polina, and gain of 1. Now let's take a look at the North Penn offensive line. Matty Bargwin out to offensive tackle, along with Chris Hamill, Bill Gill, and Chris McKelvey at guard, and Dan Cheng, number 50, at center. Zach Thomas, wide receiver, Matt Gill, tight end, Aaron Thomas, wide receiver, Clay Kuklick at quarterback, with Mike Kapusta and Heike Johnson in the backfield. So CB West defense coming out strong so far, stopping Heike Johnson in his tracks.
If they can continue to do this all night, North Penn's going to have a big trouble.
So first timeout is going to be called by North Penn. Now, this loud noise factor has definitely played into this game tonight.
Well, gee, as you see on both sides of for both teams, they have about equal amount of fanfare. Sold thousands of tickets in the North Penn area, and of course even more in the Central Bucks. So either team, no lack of fanfare here tonight.
So let's take a look at the defense of CB West. with Andrew Ising at DN, along with Dustin Picciotti at DN, when Bobby Bowser and Angelino Varillo at D tackles, and Angelo Polina at nose guard. And looking at the backers and secondary, Brian Callahan and Ryan Blomgren at linebackers, Dave Camburn and Ted Kenyon at DBs, along with Phil DiCiamo and Zach Ingram at safeties. So CB West is going to hope big plays from this defensive line to stop Heike Johnson and Mike Kapusta from getting any yards. So North Penn shifts to a two-back formation. It's a load right and give it to Kapusta. And he's trucking to the 31-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd and 2. Nice blocking by the offensive line of North Penn. Now with Chris McKelvey and Chris Hamill, Coach Pettin must feel very comfortable running behind those two big guys.
Absolutely. When you have two guys of that size and caliber of play, it's going to be an extreme factor in today's game. Stop the run inside, and that's basically why he did. Mainly Chris McKelvey is a 4th down defensive lineman, but they want to bring him in to stop Dustin Picciotti, who's such a threat on the ground.
Aaron Thomas in motion. Clay Kuklik looks, throws, and Heike Johnson unable to bring it in, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now you saw there, G, a very nice job of Clay Kuklik to be able to get out and spot Heike Johnson. It would have been a 1st down. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to hold on to that. That's very important that they make those plays for 1st downs.
So North Penn will punt it away. So John Corson will punt. Almost blocked. And number 12, Phil DiCiamo with the return. And he's still on his feet. Finally dragged down by Kyle Smith, number 12.
So far, you've seen 2 excellent jobs by both return teams to be able to their return men, Dave Cameron, of course, and Phil DiCiamo, and on the other side, Aaron Thomas made good returns. It's very important that they establish that in the beginning.
Now let's take a look at the CB West offensive line. John Bear and Bobby Bowser at O tackles, and Mixkey and Daly at guards, and Matt Showalter at center. Strong eye formation for the Bucks. Handoff to Dustin Picciotti. And Picciotti picks up about 2. So as we expected in the beginning, they're going to run it down each other's throats.
Yeah, G, they're going to continue to do this. The Central Bucks West are going to continue to send in Dustin Picciotti on the inside runs.
Now let's take a look at the CB West backs and receivers. Matt Carey at tight end, Ted Kenyon at split end, Mike Oriole quarterback, Dustin Picciotti fullback, Dave Camburn halfback, and Phil DiGiacomo at wingback. And strong eye formation with the wing in motion. And they're going to give it to Dustin Picciotti again, and he picks up about 3. And let's take a look at North Penn defense with Bill Gill at defensive end, Fran Mahan and Chris McKelvey at D tackle, and at the other end, Dan Chang and Aaron Thomas at safety, along with Mike Moore, Mike Kapusta, and Steve Francis at linebackers, with Mike Colonello also, and Mike Landis and Heike Johnson, along with Aaron Thomas at defensive backfield. With a single back formation. Once again, wing back in motion. They're going to give it to Picciotti again, and he picks up the first.
Jay, there you see it again. Picciotti is deadly on the ground. He doesn't break free for the big runs, as any fullback is not expected to do. But, of course, he continues to plug away through the middle. North Penn has got to eliminate that middle inside hole.
Now, coming into tonight's game, they started Chris McKelvey, the 295-pound offensive linemen at D tackle to prevent Dustin Picciotti from gaining much leverage in the middle. And number 8, Mike Oriole in motion. And he'll scramble and picks up about 2. So about 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's 0-0. And 2nd and 7.
North Penn so far has been playing teams that absolutely do not compare to Central Bucks West. They have to adjust to this team in order to stop the run, especially.
Now 2nd and 7 situation here, 2-back formation. And quick handoff to Picciotti. And he'll pick up about 3.
And as you just saw, and viewers out there, as you saw on your screen, you see it again. Dustin Picciotti getting the quick draws, and the defensive tackles having trouble. He's just running over them. Even Chris McKelvey, who weighs 295 pounds.
Now, Kyle, looking from the sideline, so far, CB West is doing a pretty good job running the ball.
That's correct, guys. Also, 2 defensive changes for both teams are both the same thing. Both North Penn and CB West run out of a base 4-4. They've added an extra defensive tackle on the nose, Chris McKelvey for North Penn, and that's helped clog up the holes for both Mike Capusta and Dustin Picciotti. Let's go back upstairs.
And they brought out the change for that one, and they picked up the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10. So North Penn's definitely going to have to do something about Dustin Picciotti, or he's going to keep on going, and who knows, he might score. Hand off to Picciotti. He gets wrapped around the line of scrimmage, but he keeps on rolling, and he picks up about 3 more yards.
Yeah, and you just cannot attempt to tackle him single-handedly. You must wrap him around and drive him down to the ground in order to keep this kid back, because if you just try to weakly tackle him or arm tackle him, he'll blow right by you and pick up those very crucial, important short yardage plays.
Picciotti definitely showing his advantage with his size and power. And 3 backs in the backfield. And Mike Oriole will have number 24 wide open. And they score with Ted Kenyon. And CB West leads it 6-0.
Gene, let me tell you something right now. North Penn, of course, Mike Penn on the side of older Mike Penn Sr. on CB West, that is just the perfect play to call. North Penn expecting the whole time to see Picciotti on that carry. All they do, play action pass, and the man is wide open. But of course, it had to be a miscommunication. There'd just be no way, unless they brought in the cornerback blitz. That's all I could possibly think of.
So Bobby Tumulty will attempt the extra point, and it's good. So they're up 7-0 here in the first. So North Penn biting on the fake and giving up a touchdown to Ted Kenyon. I don't know how it's going to turn out as time moves on if North Penn doesn't stay home. And once again, you saw that play again. Another angle. There you see Mike Oriole, number 24, Ted Kenyon, just wide open.
Oh, absolutely. No problem in getting that.
Now, Coach Pettin of North Penn has definitely be shocked.
Oh, absolutely. And I bet you right now that those coaches are absolutely livid on the sideline. I do not know what happened in that Kenyon was able to get that wide open. The only thing that they were trying to throw in a secondary blitz there. But this is what happens. This is what happens when you have a team as deadly as Central Bucks West. It's hard to anticipate what move they're going to make next.
The elder Coach Pettin of CB West definitely knowing the tricks of the game, and he shows it right there against his son on the play option and the touchdown pass to Ted Kenyon. So CB West will kick it off to Aaron Thomas. And short kick And Aaron Thomas will field it around the 20, and he's crossing left, and he's trying to turn, and he cuts inside, and he picks up about 9, and they're calling fumble, but North Penn has it. So North Penn will take control around the 29-yard line.
As you notice there, G, you saw on the kickoffs, they're trying to attempt to kick it on an angle, allow the North Penn return squad to have less of options to run the ball back. They want to try to keep them back.
So 1st and 10. Hand off to Heike Johnson. And he picks up about 1. So that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Now they're going with a 3 wide receiver formation with Mike Kapusta in the backfield. And Kuklik will keep it, and he's going. A good stop by number 4.
Yeah, Kapusta had, Clay Kuklik had that hole wide open, but I'll tell you, the Bucks were right there, and they fielded it like cement.
Ryan Blomgren on the tackle. Clay Kuklik nowhere to go, only with a pickup about 3 on that wide open lane. So that'll bring up 3rd and 4 situation for the Knights, with 2 wide receivers, 2 backs, Heike Johnson and Mike Kapusta in the backfield.
Gee, watch for a pass here. They know that they're having trouble on the run.
Flag on the play.
As you see, G, Coach Patton is trying to mix it up, trying to instead using his backs, getting in, Clay Kuklik into the middle with quarterback bootlegs.
That'll be a false start on North Penn, and that'll bring them back 5 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
It's absolutely crucial that they stay clear of those mental mistakes. That's simply a mental mistake. You have to discipline yourself to be able to not move before that ball is snapped.
They're going 5 wide receiver formation. Clay Kuklik by himself in the backfield. There's a pass and dropped. Dropped by number 11, Aaron Thomas. And they'll bring up 4th and 9.
The secondary was absolutely all over Aaron Thomas. Excellent job. I'll tell you, North Penn so far, they don't have many options against this team.
So North Penn will once again punt it away. And Phil DiGiussiamo will field it around the 30-yard line. And good hit put on by Steve Francis on the defense.
I'll tell you, dogs look like a ravaging animal on that. That's the kind of hits that you have to make. Make them see stars down on the field there.
So North Penn will have another chance to prove that there's something. Now they're going to have to stop Dustin Picciotti on this, or they're not going to get back into this game.
Absolutely, G. They have to be able to eliminate Dustin Picciotti. If they can get to him, then they will be able to affect the passing game next. So get to Picciotti. That's their main emphasis today.
Timeout called by CB West, unable to get it off. Let's go down to Kyle Berger with the sideline report.
Well, guys, what happened on that last play, why CB West had to call a timeout, Blomgren came out onto the field, and he was late getting into the huddle, didn't know where he was supposed to be. He lined up left, he lined up right, went back to the left again. Oriole didn't like what he saw and had to call a timeout. An interesting note about Blomgren, his older brother, Travis, was the quarterback for this Central Bucks West team in 1995, the last time that North Penn beat the Bucks. Right now, Blomgren is starting at safety for the University of Delaware Blue Hens in Division I AA. Back upstairs.
That's right. Travis Blomgren threw an interception to North Penn on North Penn's win.
It was Phil DeSimone, to be exact, on the play. Yes, and he is now attending Clarion University as a wide receiver for that team.
So CB West will regroup and try to charge down this field. Home field advantage definitely has an effect on a team.
Oh, absolutely. And as you've seen so far, CB West just dominating this field.
Quick handoff to Dustin Picciotti, and he'll pick up about 2. So Dustin Picciotti may not be getting those big yardages, but he's getting those important yards that CB West needs.
Gee, he is slowly attacking this North Penn team, the defensive line. That's what kills you. It's not those 1 or 2 big gain grounds. It's those short yardage, plugging away, those runs that take 3 or 4 downs altogether that really kill you.
With Ted Kenyon's touchdown, that just got North Penn side of fans just quiet. So 2nd and 6. Handoff. And there's flag on the play.
Gee, the only thing that I could think here is that it would be a false start by the jump of the line, but we will see, of course.
So that'll be false start against CB West. And that got the North Penn fans cheering. That'll be 2nd down and 12 for CB West.
Yeah, anything that the North Penn get into these guys' heads emotionally. That's one important factor of this game. And that, in fact, that's probably half of the battle, to try to wear them down endurance-wise, and also get into their heads, you know, little trash talk here and there.
The league championship game here tonight against CB West. North Penn's having a handful against Dustin Picciotti. And once again, it's a fake. To the slot man, number 41, Dave Camberm.
As you saw there, Camberm looked like he was trapped back there, but he had a bit of hold at the offensive line, allowed him, and he was able to pick it up, and frankly, that was a good collection of yardage, despite the fact that he could have been wrapped up back 2 yards shy of the line of scrimmage.
Dave Camberm with a pickup of about 6. That'll put the CB West Bucks 3rd and 6.
This is extremely important. Stop them defensively. I won't be surprised if you see a little play action pass here.
Trips right formation for CB West. Man in motion. And Oriole. And there's a pass. Little long. Intended for number 4, Ryan Blomgren. A hard-stopping play.
I'll tell you, Oriole looked like he had Blomgren hit there. Just overthrew him by about 3 inches. About 3 or more inches inside, and he would have turned it up, and it would have been a huge detrimental factor to North Penn's team.
So that'll bring up 4th and 6, and CB West will punt it away. And North Penn going for the block. Almost blocked.
And in fact, G, someone might have gotten a fingertip on that ball.
I think that was Mike Landis with the tip. Great pressure by North Penn Knights defense.
Turn it up. This team is at no short for emotions tonight.
3rd straight year this situation has occurred for both teams. Both undefeated for the 3rd time.
And of course, though, this is the first time, however, in the past couple of years that North Penn has met CB West so late in the season with an undefeated record.
Inside handoff to Mike Kapusta with a pickup about 5. So North Penn has something to prove in this game. Are they really ready for the playoffs? We'll find out tonight.
Yeah, this is a very good preview of what North Penn might do in the playoffs.
Handoff to Heike Johnson. He gets wrapped around in the backfield. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Heike Johnson having extreme trouble running to the outside. You have to be careful. This team covers ground extremely well. He's tried to go to the outside, tried to run it inside, tried to cut it outside, but with no deal.
Both of these teams have excellent scouts, and they know that Heike Johnson is an inside-out type of a running back, meaning that he'll run a lot of tosses to the outside and not get that much yardage inside like Dustin Picciotti does for CB West. And full defensive pressure on, and there's a long pass to Aaron Thomas, incomplete.
Yes, that was absolutely excellent coverage by CB West on that play. A bit underthrown, very nice throw by Clay Kucklick, but a bit underthrown to the intended receiver, but excellent job of coverage by the defensive backs on.
That was Ted
CB
Kenyon,
West.
number 24 on the coverage, who already had that first touchdown for the Bucks. So John Corson will once again punt it away to Phil DiGiussiamo.
So far throughout this whole game, CB West has done what has seemed to be impossible all year, and that's three times they've been able to shut North Penn out in 3 and out.
Wild punt into the fans.
I believe it's going to be an illegal procedure because it was kicked out of bounds.
There are no illegal procedures in punts, Ken.
Excuse me, you're exactly right.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 for CB West. So Ken, now I gotta ask you, where did all the hype go?
Well, I think mostly because North Penn has built up such a strong program. These fans really have great confidence in their team. And of course, you cannot forget the Penn versus Penn legacy. Coach Mike Penn playing for his father in the early 80s, and he's obviously picked up the coaching talent.
Dave Camburn on the carry, brought down by number 45, Steve Francis, with a pickup of about 9. Oh, it's a 1st down for CB West. Great run by Dave Calburn. So that'll be 1st and 10 with about 25 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter.
This game so far, this has been flowing like an hourglass. This quarter is already basically winding down.
Once again to Picciotti, and he picks up about 5.
Again, you see Dustin Picciotti. He literally runs over his opponents.
When you look at Dustin Picciotti, he's bigger than most of the linemen that blocks for him.
Oh, absolutely. And he does play on the defensive side, as we're seeing tonight. He's playing as a defensive lineman tonight, in fact, a defensive end. And this kid is a highly touted fullback. He's already gotten offers from Miami. He's been looked at by schools such as Miami and Syracuse and so on.
Now let's go to Kyle Berger once again for the sideline report. Kyle?
Did you guys say Miami? That sounds a little familiar. Anyway, down here on the sideline, you got to admit, Central Bucks West played probably the best possible first quarter they could against the Knights. They get up early, they go with Picciotti up the middle, run the play fake. And as you said, Ken, a great call going to Kenyon down the sideline. North Penn was well beaten. They tried it again on the play fake. Heike Johnson was almost beaten. Oriole just overthrew it. Right now, CB West up 7-0. Now they're going to do what they do best. Buckle down, run the football right up the gut and play some great defense, and they're stopping North Penn's eye veer. That's their bread and butter play. The Knights have to get that eye veer to work for them. Let's go back upstairs for the second quarter.
Thanks, Kyle. Now, you remember last year, the running game of the CB West Bucks just killed the Knights in the District 1 playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. That's basically how they were able to attack this Knights team. Even with, of course, as you know, Division I star, Dave Coslow, even with him on the defensive front there, I mean, Central Bucks West was still able to plug those balls in. And you see why there's such a powerhouse team. They don't do things too fancy. They just basically run strong fundamentals.
About third down and a yard to go. CB West, it just seems like they're just going to run it down North Penn's throat, and North Penn just not being able to do anything about it.
So far, Dustin Picciotti has 33 yards on 9 carries. So as you see, not a averaging major yards per carry, but still attacking
completion
slowly.
To Ryan Blomgren, and that'll be first down around the 11-yard line. Great fake to Dustin Picciotti, and Mike Oriole just rolled out and gave it to Ryan Blomgren, and he picked up the first. So CB West once again knocking on the doors of North Penn Knights. Let's see what they do here. 3-back formation, Dustin Picciotti tries to break free. Steve Francis once again making the big play. So outside linebacker, Steve Francis doing most of the work for the defense.
Oh, this kid has come such a far way through these past 3 years. He's become a very well fundamental player. As we've seen so far, and in these past season, he's made some huge plays for North Penn, and that's mainly why Coach Penn has so much confidence in him on defensive and offensive side of the ball.
Dustin Picciotti, single back formation. They give to him once again down the middle. Wrapped up by Dan Chang around the 5.
Now, I'm starting to see a bit of change in this defensive line here. They're starting to buckle down on Dustin Picciotti. They're not allowing him as much room as they were earlier, but let's hope that they continue to buckle down on this strong running game.
Mike Moore and Mike Kapusta, the senior captains, are definitely going to have to do something. The senior linebackers, the leaders of the defense, they're going to have to just shut down Picciotti if they don't want to get beaten. And once again to Picciotti, and he's in for the touchdown, and they're up 13-0 here in the second quarter.
Jay, you saw it. You saw it back there. You saw it again. Dustin Picciotti continues to slowly attack this North Penn defense. I can't say that enough. He is not one of these guys that will turn up for these big yardages, but he will continue to bash away at you. And that's what makes him such a complete fullback, and he really is a complete fullback on the field.
North Penn, hardly known as a team that gives up 2 touchdowns in the first half, already gave up 2. And Tumulty puts it right through the uprights, and they'll put the Bucks up 14-0. And once again, we see great blocking by the CB West linemen. Just unbelievable.
And as I said earlier in the pregame show, North Penn attempting to they've been stacking the defensive line, and they've been bringing in their secondary type. But so far, it has not been successful, as CB West has been able to slowly plug away at this team.
Now, Kyle, if you can hear me on the sideline, what is going on with this defense?
I'll tell you what, G, the defense is running around like chickens with their heads cut off down here. It's interesting to note, Coach Mike Pettin, Sr. of the Central Bucks West Bucks, many say may have mellowed in his late years. I'll tell you what, though, he's as fired up as I've seen Junior on the North Penn sideline in my 3 years at North Penn. I mean, he's yelling at his assistant coaches. They almost didn't get the right formation in on that last touchdown scoring play. In fact, they didn't. Dave Camburn was lined up on the right side of the offense. He should have been on the left side of the backfield. He got an earful from his coaches coming off the field, but the end result is still the same. Another 6 for CB West, and they're up by 2 scores. North Penn is going to have to score before the end of the half if they're going to want to come back. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle. Now this offense, this returning team has done so far everything good for North Penn, but the offense just not doing anything.
Yeah, the special teams has been the bright light in a dark tunnel. As we've seen so far, Aaron Thomas has been making some very good salvaging plays to be able to put North Penn in, frankly, quite decent field position, but so far the offense has not been able to translate that into some good yardage and, of course, the almighty touchdown.
Flag on the play. False start by CB West. So North Penn will have a little better chance of returning the ball. So CB West up 14-0 here in the second quarter. This much anticipated game turning out to be a blowout so far, with North Penn not being able to do anything.
That's quite right, Jay. And as Kyle said earlier on the sidelines, North Penn must be able to convert some points before the end of the half in order to stay into this game.
Long kick. Fielded by Landis, and he's going to go through the middle, and he gets wrapped up around the 35-yard line. So let's see what North Penn offense is going to do. Now they're going to have to get fired up now. They cannot let those 2 scores by CB West plague them here for the rest of the game.
Absolutely, G. They cannot allow CB West, just because they have 2 touchdowns, to damper their spirits. They must turn it up emotionally and translate that into good offensive play and defensive play on this field.
Now you see Matt Gill and Fran Mahan come on the line. It seems like a run to the right, and they give it to Heike Johnson, and he gets wrapped up. Now, I don't see the point of giving Fran Mahan out if you're going to run the ball and you're just giving it away.
Yeah, well, Coach Penn is hoping that he can attack this team up through the middle. He's hoping that he can find a weak spot in this defensive line so the halfback and the fullback can have some light.
I've seen this Knights team play all season long, and I saw them play tremendously. But tonight, it's not working for North Penn.
No, G, I stand here and I'm absolutely shocked, because I would have never thought that CB West would have come out this fast. But just watch. North Penn is in no lack of emotions here.
So quarterback draw. Stopped by number 44, Angelo Polina, for no gain. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
So far on 4 carries, Heike Johnson has averaged only 1 yard. So some different plays need to be worked in here in order to give Heike Johnson a better chance of picking up that yardage and, of course, the touchdown.
So timeout called by CB West. North Penn has to settle down and get this offense moving.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I cannot say enough for this offensive squad. They are extremely talented on the North Penn side. I'm personally looking on the field. I don't know what's going wrong. They're just not being able to pick out the right plays at the right time. But don't look for that. Don't look for this to be any sort of blowout. No predictions here so far, because this team will really surprise you.
But both of these teams are guaranteed a spot in the district playoffs. So if they do well in the district playoffs, they will meet again.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, North Penn, they do have home field advantage next week They're not quite sure who their opponent will be on Friday at Crawford Stadium, but depending on how far they're able to get in the playoffs, these teams will definitely be meeting up again.
So far, it has been a Cinderella season for North Penn. Who would have thought they will be 9-0 at this point?
Well, gee, I'm not so sure as I would tag it as a Cinderella season. However, you have to give a lot of credit to Mike Penn, who's really been able to build up his squad nicely, and he has some fine players to work with.
8-3, the first season Coach Pettin came to this league, and 9-3 the second year, and 9-0 this season, and they go long to Aaron Thomas, and it's incomplete.
Very nice ball thrown by Clay Kucklick, and I'll tell you, that was just a few feet away, and if Aaron Thomas, if that would have just been a bit farther in his arms, he would have turned it up, and I tell you, he would have translated into a touchdown here.
And if you paid attention to Clay Kucklick on that play, he got nailed by Dustin Picciotti. Picciotti just sending out a message. And Corson will once again punt it away. Already his fourth punt. Short punt, and it'll roll to the 35-yard line, and Knights will pick it up.
I think Corson, of course, he's getting a lot of defensive pressure by the special teams unit for Central Bucks. They are really applying the pressure up front. They're not allowing him much time to get to those kicks off, those punts off. And of course, as you saw on that last play, it wasn't not necessarily the fact that the defensive line had gotten up there, but I think John Corson was a bit shaken on that punt.
Now, if we can go to Kyle Berger down by the sidelines. Kyle, what is this team going to have to do to get back in this game?
Well, I'll tell you what they need to do, G. What they need to do is have a couple big plays on defense, and they just absolutely have to keep Central Bucks West off the scoreboard. I'll have more after this play.
And Oriole scrambling. And he gets brought down after gain of 1. Great coverage by North Penn Knights defense. So second and long for CB West with 3 backs in the backfield. And they're going to give it inside with Camburn on the carry. And he loses about half a yard, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Now I'm starting to see a bit of metamorphosis here by the defensive line here. Earlier, CB West was continuing to attack them up through the middle and slowly but surely gaining those yards. But now I'm starting to see North Penn anticipating the right plays. They can do this. There's going to be a big turn of the tables here in tonight's game.
It may be a little early to predict CB West. Now they shift with Oriole. A great pursuit. And great defensive play by Mike Kapusta.
Absolutely excellent awareness on that field to be able to anticipate the play in the secondary. Mike Kapusta, of course, the linebacker, excellent job at not allowing that pass to get complete. And that might have saved North Penn the grace of CB West picking up the first down.
So North Penn Knights answering the calls of the North Penn fans. Now you can see the great defensive pressure by Bill Gill and great stop by 43. And they will punt it away. Almost blocked. High short punt, and it'll roll back. And number 50, Matt Showalter, will stop it.
Because of the fact that that snap was a bit high, the punter had to bring it down lower to be able to kick off, and that gave the defensive line that split second extra, and it scared the punter, and he wasn't able to get as nice of a punt as he would have if he had the time.
Now, if we could go to Kyle Berger, who asked for that defensive play, and he just got it right there. How do you feel about that, Kyle?
Well, G, North Penn did what they needed to do. 3 and out for CB West. They have great field position now. Not a great punt right there. We're going to see if they can punch it in. They had a good idea to go deep to Aaron Thomas. We'll see if they take another shot deep down the field. Let's go upstairs.
So handoff to Heike Johnson, and he picks up about 1. So Heike Johnson so far getting short yardages. CB West defense definitely focused on Heike Johnson's running game.
Absolutely, and that's what Mike Penton Sr. is probably working on the whole week. He's probably expecting to see Heike Johnson come in here, and so far he's anticipated quite correctly, as he's been able to hold Heike Johnson to only 2 yards. 2 yards on 5 carries.
2nd and 9. And there's a flag on the play, and the referee will call it off. And it seems like a false start on North Penn.
Yeah, gee, that's exactly what it's going to be. The line jumped a bit up front. So, of course, that's going to translate into a loss of 5 yards, which is very important for North Penn.
Mental mistakes are going to cost North Penn, or CB West for that matter. It's going to be very, very difficult to get back in this game if you keep losing yards on mental mistakes.
Absolutely. North Penn, of course, we have not seen them make we're a very well-disciplined team. We have not seen them make too many mistakes throughout this whole season. But tonight, of course, as I said earlier, you have to buckle down, focus on the task at hand. You cannot get caught up in the hype. You cannot get caught up in any of the motions. You must focus on your job.
2nd and 13, Clay Kucklick at quarterback. And draw to Heike Johnson. Heike Johnson almost breaks free. But he picks up about 3 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. So North Penn, it seems like they're playing some different type of game that they haven't played all year. They're giving Heike Johnson the ball, they're throwing it, but it doesn't seem like the Knights we have seen all year long.
Now, I'm not quite sure if the Knights anticipated this much of a problem on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, now, what their job is now, as we head into what's going to be about the half, their job is to start to adjust to the defensive line up front, because that's what's causing them the trouble. CB West's defensive line is not allowing for much options with the rushing game, so North Penn has to anticipate that, and they have to adjust in these upcoming quarters.
So Coach Mike Penton Sr. must be feeling very comfortable with this 2-touchdown lead. And that's keeping the fan factor down because North Penn crowd is just silent right now.
Yeah, gee, looking over on the North Penn side there, I really do not see any type of movement or loudness. But don't expect these fans to get down on their team. They're very confident, and they are certainly, North Penn is certainly not even close to out of this game yet. 14-0, that's nothing for this team.
3rd and 10 situation. I don't think I can expect a run here because the way the running game has gone for North Penn just seems like it's going to be a pass.
You know, of course, there you see on the strong side the decoy, and there he is.
Complete to Aaron Thomas. Perfectly read by number 21, Gavin Potter.
Nice job, however, Clay Kucklick in timing that play to Aaron Thomas. He was able to turn around quite nicely, but the defensive back was right on his tail. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to pick up anything extra after that catch.
So that'll be 4th and 4. Now, he can go for a punt and try to get deep into CB West territory, or he can go for it with 4 yards to go. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good question, G. I'd like to. I'm waiting to see what Coach Penton will decide to do on this play. A 4th down situation. You've got 4 yards left to go to pick up the 1st down, but we'll see.
Now you see on the replay that was Ted Kenyon with the tackle on Aaron Thomas. Now Kyle is standing by once again down by the sidelines. Kyle, how do you see this game developing so far?
Well, I think this is a crucial play right now for North Penn, G. I really believe that they're going to go for it here. 4th and 4, ball at the 40-yard line just about. I think the way Corson's been punting too, you can't really expect him to be able to place the ball inside the 10-yard line. Maybe we'll see a bootleg here from Clay Kucklick. They might run him out of the shotgun and do a rollout to the North Penn side of the field just to give him a little more time to throw the football. Let's see what they'll do. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle. Now Joe Talise is in the game, and he's at wide receiver. Clay Kucklick at quarterback in shotgun formation with Mike Kapusta at running back, and he's going to go for the pass. Big pressure, intercepted by Ryan Blomgren. And coming right back in North Penn Knight's face as it comes back to the line of scrimmage with the interception by Ryan Blomgren. Unbelievable play. The pass was tipped by a North Penn receiver, and Blomgren with a good field position interception.
Clay Kucklick had time to throw that ball. He threw it quite nicely, a bit too high though. Nice hard throw. But
there's a flag on the play. The North Penn side is cheering. Let's see what the call is. Pass interference on the defense, and that'll be automatic first down.
That is an extremely huge turnaround here for this North Penn offense. That's very important. This could translate into some big points. This is really a turn of the tables right here, G.
We can see that one more time. Tipped by Aaron Thomas.
Oh, and G, definitely pass interference. You saw him getting the push from behind.
And I formation with the wingback. Heike Johnson in the backfield. Full stacked CB West defense. And he gets no yardage on that play. Now Kyle has a report. Kyle.
Well, guys, that pass interference call, Central Bucks defensive back had his left arm draped over Aaron Thomas before that ball got there. It was a bit early. It was the right pattern for North Penn to run. They needed 4 yards. They ran about a 5-yard hook, settled under the zone defense, but the Central Bucks West defender was a bit early. Guys, that could be the break North Penn needs. Let's see how they do.
Inside the 30-yard line, North Penn, second and 10. They're definitely going to need a big play. And handoff to Mike Kapusta. Or Kucklick with the keeper. Great play fake. So that will bring up 3rd and 5 for North Penn.
Nice job with the quarterback keeper by Clay Kucklick. The bootleg to the strong side. He was able to pick up some fine yardage on that play and put North Penn in some good position here to pick up yet another first down.
So Clay Kucklick, the senior quarterback, getting good opening by the offensive line and gaining that yards. Gives it off to Mike Kapusta this time, and he picks up the first. Down to the 10-yard line, and he fumbles. And CB West has it. Unbelievable.
This is absolutely a huge, huge detrimental factor to this North Penn offense and this entire North Penn team. That they just got inside. They were threatening inside the deep zone, deep red zone. It looked as though fullback Mike Kapusta had a fine pickup. It's very unfortunate, though, however, that they just turned over that ball on that play.
This is just unexpected. Kyle, if you're down there, can you explain to me what just happened?
Yeah, guys, in my opinion, a blown call. I don't know what the replay looked like, but from my viewpoint, I'm directly across the field from where the fumble occurred. It sure looked to me like the ground caused the fumble. Looks like a blown call by the officials. I didn't see the replay, but that's just my opinion. Back upstairs.
Once again, if we could look at the replay. Inside handoff. Number 12, Phil Como. I think he just stripped it right before Mike Kapusta got on the ground.
I think that's exactly what happened, Jay. From the perspective of at the top, it looked as though he was ground caused the fumble, but from that inside perspective, I can kind of see how that was actually a fumble.
The DiGiussiamo, once again, sweep to the right, up to the 19-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3. So what it seemed like to be a huge break for North Penn comes back into their faces and gives the Bucks the ball back.
Yeah, that could have translated into a big emotional factor here and a big turn of the tables if North Penn was able to complete that first down. They had the first down. They were inside their own 10-yard line. But unfortunately, that turning over the ball will not yield them any points. And, in fact, that could really be a big harmful factor here, especially if CB West is able to translate that turnover into points.
Once again, you saw Steve Francis on the tackle of DG Siyama, who was breaking free. And Steve Francis just getting the job done by himself on defense.
Yeah, he's made some crucial plays for the North Penn defense here. One, he's really been acting alone on some of these plays, and he's really been making some nice hits.
Now, North Penn's definitely going to have to score in the first half if they want to stay in this game and prevent this CB West offense from scoring anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if they're able to get Old West Idle in there kicking a field goal, that could really prove to be somewhat of a pickup here for this team.
Picciotti lone back, and he picks up the first with a pickup of about 6. Now, both teams know that Dustin Picciotti is a CB West offensive weapon, and CB West knows that Heike Johnson is North Penn's offensive weapon. And CB West has done the job of stopping Heike Johnson, but North Penn just unable to stop him.
Exactly, Jay. As you said before, those are the two weapons. Unfortunately, Picciotti's been able to get the job done so far, and Heike Johnson, unfortunately, has not.
Hand off to Camburn, and fumble. And North Penn has the ball.
And North Penn has it again. A huge turnaround. Of course, I wish North Penn didn't turn it over back then. But, hey, you'll take anything at this time now as they're able to turn over that ball. And North Penn's able to pick that up.
With about 38 seconds to go here in the second quarter, they're going to have to go for a touchdown. Kuklik back pass. He looks. He throws. Has Heike Johnson open. And tipped by number 31, Zach Ingram, on the great defensive play.
That was an absolute excellent play by Ingram. Heike Johnson was alone with the other defensive back. Ingram was able to come over and make the play, tip the ball, because I'll tell you, that could have been another big turnaround here for these Knights. If they were able to convert that, and, of course, that would have brought them all the way up to about their own 15-yard line and another first down and a chance at striking. But good job by Ingram on that play.
2nd and 10 with 4 wide receivers. Kuklik with little screen pass to Aaron Thomas. He gets wrapped up. And that's a fumble. They finally call it off.
Yeah, Jay, he was definitely down. Fumble caused by the ground on that play. But, of course, again, the defensive line applying pressure to Kuklik. He was barely able to get that ball off to Aaron Thomas. And then Aaron Thomas was absolutely swarmed by the defense.
3rd and 12 for North Penn after that loss of 2 yards with the screen pass. And time ticking down with 10 seconds to go. North Penn's going to have time for one more play, and they got 4 wide receivers, 4 seconds, and they get it off. And Clay Kuklik is being chased, and he fumbles. And he gets brought down. And I am lost for words as CB West is just dominating this game.
CB West came out here with one goal in mind, and that's to stop North Penn. And North Penn also had that same goal, but unfortunately, CB West has been doing it. And they've been accomplishing that goal, and they're going to go into this locker room up 14-0. And North Penn's going to go dejected, but I'll tell you, look for a turnaround here in this second half. Look for Coach Pettin to give emotional pep talk here in the locker room, and I really feel look for a translation of the score here.
Now, Kyle, you can see everything from the field. Now, what is Coach Pettin going to talk to his team about?
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Pettin Sr., pretty much all he has to say is keep doing what you're doing. So far, father knows best. Coach Pettin Jr. from North Penn Knights, he's just going to have to tell his guys, hey, we need to buckle down, play some fundamental football. They're going to have to make some adjustments at halftime. They moved to that 5-man defensive line with a nose guard lined head up on the center who only weighs 195 pounds. Central Bucks West has made up for that by doubling down on either Brick Mengel Spurrio or Chris McKelvey, whoever's been playing that position. Big problem for North Penn right there. It looked like they were going to punch it in. They had Heike Johnson going deep. Just a great defensive play by Central Bucks West. North Penn's going to have to start making some more cracks down the field, and they really have to establish the running game. I mean, they probably had maybe, I don't have the stats down here, but I would imagine no more than 20 yards rushing in the first half, and that's just not going to get the job done against Central Bucks West. So look for North Penn to open up the offense and clamp down on defense. Let's send it back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle. Now, I see the stats, and North Penn only has about 33 yards of rushing. And that is just tremendously low compared to what North Penn was averaging before. We saw North Penn gaining over 2,000 yards, and they're going to have to do something in the second half to come back in this game. And we'll take a break now, and we'll be back for the second half kickoff. Stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed days, the dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to War Memorial Field as CB West are dominating the North Penn Knights. North Penn Knights down 14-0 here in the second half as CB West gets ready to receive. And for the first half, all we saw was Dustin Picciotti just running it down North Penn's throats, and Coach Mike Pettin Sr. mixing it up a little bit here and there with that long touchdown pass to Ted Kenyon that put the initial 7 and later added 7 by Dustin Picciotti. But looking at North Penn's defense, you're just at loss for words looking at them play.
Well, basically, as you were just talking about CB West, basically what Coach Mike Penn has been trying to do is either send Dustin Picciotti 99% of the time or make North Penn think that that's what they're going to do. Of course, North Penn has been basically concentrating almost all of their entire efforts on Dustin Picciotti, and of course, CB West here and there has been able to incorporate a number of other backs, noticeably Dave Camburn in there, who's been picking up some nice yards for this team, and also, as you said earlier, that big touchdown pass where the receiver was wide open.
Now, if you could look at the first half stats. First half stats, only 42 passing yards, or I'm sorry, that was 36 rushing yards for North Penn, and 92 rushing yards for CB West. There's a definite difference there.
And gee, as you look here, total yards for CB West compared to those of North Penn. CB West with total yards of 134, and West with and North Penn with 46.
And CB West on the return. Gets a good return around the 29-yard line, and they will take control there.
Gee, again, we see the factor, North Penn being able to, CB West being able to make those nice returns on a lot of their plays, on a lot of their kick returns. And, that can prove to be an extremely important factor, as I said earlier in the game, to putting a team in good striking position.
So Knights have something to prove here in the second half. And they're going to definitely have to stop Dustin Pichotti and Mike Oriole from scoring, or they're gonna have trouble in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have extreme trouble if they are not able to. Jason said earlier, we were having technical difficulties there. So, as you were saying earlier, of course, North Penn has got to eliminate that rushing game up through the middle, including Dustin Pichotti.
Dustin Pichotti on the carry with a pickup of about 3. You saw a lot of white jerseys swarming over him to bring him down.
Yeah, he did. Now, as I said earlier in that locker room, something had to go on, and something probably did. Now, you're going to watch this team, as they've done all season, turn it up in the second half.
And Dustin Pichotti on the carry, and just short of the first.
Don't be surprised if you see CB West go for it here on a 4th down situation. Pichotti able to pick up those 4 yards on the play.
And they're going to go for it here. 4th and very short. North Penn stacking the middle, and they're going to give it to Dustin Pichotti, and they pick up the first. The running game of CB West unstoppable so far as they keep chugging away at North Penn defensive line.
Yeah, obviously, as we've seen what CB West has been doing all night, North Penn would have a heck of a time controlling them on that 4th and 1 situation.
And Oriole with the keeper. Play action fake. Keeper to the right. So he picks up about 3 on that. And that'll be 2nd and 6. Now, Kyle, we saw Knights play pretty good defense coming out, but CB West just still rushing away through the middle.
Well, that's right, G. Nobody's going to stop Central Bucks West on 4th and half a yard. Dustin Pichotti will just run over anybody in his path. North Penn's just going to have to bring another person up into the box. Central Bucks West continues to just move the ball at will against North Penn. And like I said before halftime, they're really just going to have to open up the game on offense. Look for them to go deep, use their speed with Aaron Thomas. And you know what? I was talking to my father on the way from Philadelphia International Airport to the game tonight. He says they haven't used that famous jailbreak play much this year at all. That, of course, if you remember, was the game-winning touchdown against Lansdale Catholic on Thanksgiving last season. So look for him to maybe split high key out to the right side, run the jailbreak, and hope for the best. Let's go back upstairs.
So Dustin Pichotti once again picks up the first, and Oriole keeps it, looks to pass. Incomplete, intended for number 7, Matt Carey. Mike Landis on the coverage.
There's a nice play action. It looked like an option to the weak side, rolled out there. It was just a bit high over the intended receiver.
So 2nd and 10 for CB West as they cross midfield. Number 4 in motion. Oriole inside handoff to number 12, DiGiussiamo. And North Penn comes up with the ball, but they're going to roll it down.
Absolutely outstanding job by the defensive line up front to anticipate the run by DiGiussiamo, excuse me, and to stop that and, of course, translate that into a big 2-yard loss. And I'll tell you, that can prove to be an extremely important factor, is getting that rushing game, eliminating that from the game. I'll tell you, if North Penn can do that, I'm dead serious here. They can really strike fast, and they can strike lethally.
So Oriole rolls out to the left, and he passes complete to Phil DiGiussiamo. And he picks up 1, so that'll bring up 4th down. And there's a man down. And can't quite see the numbers there. And let's see the replay. The trainers are looking at him right now.
This could be an extremely detrimental injury to this CB West team. A very implemental player on the offensive side of the ball here for CB West.
That was number 61, John Baer, the offensive lineman, the senior, 6 feet tall, 235 pounds. The big man on the offensive line. One of the seniors that leads the offensive line. Now he gets up.
Of course, you don't want to have to lose your starters, especially in a situation that CB West is in now. They've been running the ball extremely well so far throughout the game. And if they lose their offensive line now, that could mean a breakdown in the rushing game later. And so far, North Penn has been absolutely attacking this rushing game.
So good stand by North Penn. And CB West is forced to punt. And short punt, and it rolls toward North Penn, and Ted Kenyon touches it, and that'll be down there.
Number 24 touching it down on 24-yard line, and so now North Penn will have a bit of trouble as they're working just outside their own red zone.
Now let's see what North Penn's offense has to say about the defense of CB West. An inside handoff to Mike Kapusta, and he picks up about 2. So far, we haven't seen the wide open plays of North Penn yet.
No, we really haven't. We've basically seen a concentration on the rushing game. Although, however, we have seen a few more passing plays worked in this game. And hopefully, you know, if they can continue to mix things up, hopefully the one break will go their way.
Weak formation. Mike Colonello in motion. And Johnson gets outside, and he'll be brought down around the 30, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Johnson, his biggest carry on the day, that 4-yarder, earlier at a 3-yarder on his last carry in the first half. But the main goal here is for North Penn to continue to pick up first downs. Don't worry about going deep all the time. Just keep plugging away. That's what CB West, they still have the time to do that.
Now 3 wide receivers. Clay Kuklik checks it. And he has Heike Johnson open, and he picks up the first.
extremely nice throw. We've been waiting all day. Clay Kucklick has been missing it. Of course, we saw the sharp pass inside to Aaron Thomas, and then the long pass to to Heike Johnson. Then they were just out of reach, but that time he absolutely zipped it in there.
Now Kyle Berger standing by the sidelines. Now, Kyle, what's going on down there?
Well, G, with me right now is Joe Gillespie, a former lineman on defense and offense for the North Penn Knights, and he was on the 1995 team that managed to beat the Central Bucks West Bucks. Joe, what have you seen so far tonight, and what do you think?
Well, it seems like the West is handling them all right, but it looks to be a good game, and hopefully we'll come back and win this game. I'm on the wrong sidelines right now, but sorry.
Well, you beat CB West. Granted, it's a different team, but same offensive style, same defensive style. What does it take to beat the Bucks?
Well, they both teams play the same style of offense and defense, so I guess it's just who can do it the most all night long. Just who can pound the ball, farther and win the game.
You think the Knights have enough in them to come back here?
I don't know. I'm saying yes. I got some money on the game, so I'm hoping so.
All right, that's your prediction down here on the sideline with Joe Gillespie. Let's send it back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle. So North Penn on the rushing attempt picks up about 1. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. And there's a timeout called. And Coach Mike Pettin's walking towards CB West sideline. Number 11, Aaron Thomas, gets up after being hit hard by the CB West defender. And one of the
Aaron
times that Coach Mike Pettin got to see his father on the football field.
Yeah. And, of course, Aaron Thomas, just 2 weeks ago, he came back from a knee injury which sidelined him for a few games. Now, they can't afford to lose him because he is an extremely big aspect for this team.
And he goes back down. Aaron Thomas, this is going to be costly for North Penn.
This could be something with his knee again, and we're hoping it's not a recurrent injury.
Now, let's go to Kyle Berger and check on the injury. Kyle?
Yeah, guys, just after that interview was complete, Aaron Thomas on that play ran toward the near sideline and came up a little bit lame on his right knee. And as you saw, he went down about midway across the field as he was going back to the North Penn sideline, and he just grabbed his right knee. So looks like a knee injury for Aaron Thomas, and as you said, might be a re-aggravation of an earlier injury. Let's hope he can come back in for North Penn. That's a big ingredient of their offensive attack. Let's go back upstairs for 2nd down.
2nd and 9 for North Penn. Clay Kucklick, long snap count with a keeper, and he spins and picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, Jay, excellent job. It fooled me right there. I saw Mike Capusta going up through the middle there, but then you see Clay Kucklick with the quarterback keeper, and he's able to pick up that 1st down. If they can continue to do that, continue to throw those decoy plays, especially like they've been doing all game, it will prove in the second half here, it will prove to be a major plus here for this struggling offensive side.
We're going to need big plays from this offense before 4th quarter in order for North Penn to stay in this game. And they're going to give it up to Mike Capusta, and he gains 1 yard on the forward progress.
So far, what can you say for the defensive side here for the CB West Bucks? They've been doing such an extremely excellent job here, controlling the rushing game of North Penn Knights, which throughout the season has proved to be deadly with thunder and lightning, I like to call them, Mike Capusta and Heike Johnson. There's definitely going to be a flag thrown as we saw the defensive end jump there, G.
So let's see what. So there'll be offside call on CB West. And that'll be 2nd and 4 for North Penn.
And G, as you saw there earlier with that false start, That's what North Penn has been trying to do earlier in this game. They've been trying to give those long snap counts, trying to have what they call the inflexive voice at the line. Throw off the defensive line, and I'll tell you, they can pick up some very good yardage here on penalties alone.
So mental mistake for CB West. Giving the Knights a good field position, and Kuklik capitalizes on that carry, picking up the first down.
So far, the QB bootleg has been working excellent so far. The inside quarterback keepers and bootlegs to the outside have been working great in picking up those first downs for North Penn.
Play action fake. Kuklik sees a receiver. Aaron Thomas with the reception inside the 20-yard line near the 10. Great catch by Aaron Thomas.
What an absolute amazing job. Clay Kuklik had all the time in the world to throw that ball. I don't think CB West knew what was going on there. I don't think they had any idea that was a play action pass. Aaron Thomas wide open, and he tried to make a nice spin there, but I'll tell you, that is a huge, huge pickup here for this offensive North Penn Knight team.
North Penn is known to come back in the second half due to their summertime practice conditioning. They're known to have extremely good.
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. As you're trying to say there. Yeah, they are a second-half team. That's what they're known for. That's what they've been doing. I said it earlier. I said it before. Watch for this team to come out in the second half. We'll continue to see. So far, things look good, but you don't want to jinx it too much.
Our field reporter, Dan Keene, has an interview on the sideline. Dan? Due to technical difficulties, we will not go to Dan. But it'll be 2nd and goal for North Penn around the 6-yard line. And North Penn's definitely going to have to score.
The crowd going wild on North Penn's side.
Clay Kuklik trying to draw the off. And it's a quarterback keeper. Is it a touchdown? And it is touchdown. And Clay Kuklik puts 6.
Clay Kuklik has been doing everything on the offensive side of the ball for this North Penn team. He's been running the ball through the inside, to the outside, passing excellent passes, and you just saw there the quarterback keeper inside on the goal line formation on a 2nd and 10 situation, picks up the touchdown, and that's a quick 6 on, and West Heinel will come in, of course, to add that extra point, G.
Clay Kuklik, going through the injuries during the season, has been the leader of this team and definitely showed that right there with that touchdown. And West Heinel, with the extremely good leg, puts it right through the uprights. Add one more for North Penn. That'll be 14-7. Now let's see the replay. Look at that extra effort by Clay Kuklik. Now let's go to Kyle Berger. That's behind the sidelines. Kyle?
Well, gentlemen, that play by Clay Kuklik, sometimes coming out of the huddle, the quarterback will come up to the line of scrimmage, survey the defensive line, and tap his center. Sometimes that'll mean, I'm going to run a quarterback sneak. He'll tap him on the left side and say, block left, I'm going to run right. That might have been the case there with Clay Kuklik, making that call at the line of scrimmage. The rest of the players on the field think it might have been going to Mike Kapuster or Heike Johnson or what have you, but only Clay Kuklik and Dan Chang might have known that that was a quarterback sneak. It obviously caught the Bucks off guard, and North Penn is right back in this one, as is the Knights crowd on the far side of the field. They are really going wild right now. Could be a factor if CB West has possession on their half of the field. Let's go back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle. And West Heinel will kick off for the first time since beginning of second half. West Heinel with the long kick, and this is definitely into the end zone. And that'll be a touchback. There will be no return if the ball is received or it hits the end zone. And I'm telling you, West Heinel has that strong leg that any college is willing to take.
Absolutely, Jay. On that kick right there, that could mean the difference between a CB West score and a 3-and-out or a control of CB West by North Penn. As you saw there, that great kick by West Heinel, placing CB West on the 20-yard line for the first time in today's game.
So the receiver's in tight for CB West. Dustin Picciotti, single back, and they'll give it to him. And North Penn shuts him down.
Now the defensive line is starting to bear down on the rushing game here. As I said earlier, now they're really starting to close it tight. They're not allowing much options for the backs to get through any holes here. They're closing them like cement.
Now, Kyle, so far you've seen everything gone wrong for North Penn. Now it seems like everything's going right for them.
Well, that's right, G. And you know what? After that kickoff by Heinel into the end zone, both Coach Beck and Coach Pettin turned to the North Penn crowd and told them to start making some noise. But right now it seems like the West Side's back making all the noise. Let's go back upstairs.
And with that stop by Fran Mahan, North Penn crowd goes wild once more. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3 situation for CB West. And this is going to be a critical situation. If CB West gets the first, this could mean the world to North Penn.
Not only does North Penn here have to shut down CB West on this play, they also have to try to knock them back, make them lose some yards on that play. So
and they're going to go to Dustin Picciotti. And he picks up the first.
Dustin Picciotti, you can try to stop him once, you can try to stop him twice. But this kid will continue to plug through. If you try to simply, as I said earlier, arm tackle him, or if you really don't give that big bear hug around him, he's going to pick up those extra yards. And as we saw there, picked up a detrimental first down to these North Penn Knights.
So that'll be it for the third quarter. And CB West Bucks lead it 14-7 as we go into the fourth quarter. So Dustin Picciotti stood up. So Dustin Picciotti stood up by North Penn defenders, but the extra effort put by Dustin Picciotti, unable to be comprehended by North Penn. And let's go back to Kyle for the sideline report. Kyle?
Well, as you guys know, I have spent the past 10 weeks at the University of Miami, and they obviously have a nationally ranked football team. And the one thing that they've been doing this year that I've seen, a lot of comebacks. 2 weeks ago, they came back from 28 points down against Boston College. Last week, they came back from 21 points from West Virginia. We might see another comeback here tonight. North Penn now only down by 7. All they need to do here, in my opinion, is just stop CB West and get a touchdown and take their chances in overtime. I don't think the 2-point conversion should be in North Penn's game plan right here. I just think they should try to score, take their chances in overtime, and try to upset the Bucks. Back upstairs for the fourth.
Thanks, Kyle. And I think the fans are expecting what Kyle Berger wants. All they want is for North Penn to have an upset. And that play just shut down Picciotti. So they'll bring up 2nd and 8 for CB West.
So with this situation here, 2nd and 8 situation, continue to hold their rushing game back. That's what they've been doing so far. They've been increasing pressure on this rushing game. And I'll tell you, if they had to get to Picciotti, and from there, he's the foundation of this team.
And Mike Oriole keeps it and almost sacked, and there he goes. And he gets brought down by Bill Gill and number 97, Ray McKnight.
Of course, I said all along, Ray McKnight, Bill Gill, two very important aspects for this team. They're excellent players on the defensive side of the ball. Excellent. They have a lot of emotions down on that field. They're able to attack the running back, which is one of the most important factors. Attack the rushing game and attack the entire passing game. They disrupted that play right there, and it caused Oriole to have to be sacked, in fact.
Man in motion for CB West. And they're going to give it to inside handoff, and he's going to break free, and he's still up. Dave Camburn, unbelievable run.
As you saw Camburn there, it took like a whole pile of people to get him down. He continued to spin his way. They had to, 4 guys were on him before they actually forced him down onto the ground.
If you're going to treat CB West's offense like any other team you face in the league, North Penn Knights are going to definitely have trouble playing in this game because CB West is not just another team. This is a playoff, the championship team that Coach Mike Pettin Sr. built since his arrival.
Yeah, G, definitely here. If they cannot treat this, as you said before, they cannot treat this as any other team in the league, or they're going to be extremely surprised. And that's what's happened so far. I don't think they came out here to treat this like any other team in the league, but so far they have not been able to control any of the aspects here of the CB West offense.
The arsenal of CB West being used to the fullest by Coach Pettin Sr., and North Penn is having trouble reacting to those weapons. And they're going to have to find answers quick before time runs out here in the fourth quarter. And Oriole to DiGiacomo, and he gets pushed out of bounds around midfield.
There you see there, DiGiacomo not able to run to the outside. Of course, their nice job of North Penn in penetrating, picking out that the handoff was to the weak side, and he was just basically forced out of bounds.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 8 for CB West. Dustin Picciotti, the single back, with 2 wing backs. And DiGiacomo in motion. And they're going to give it to Picciotti. And he's pushing through just short of the first. But he's showing his power and size right here, Ken.
I tell you, he looked like a bull running through a tavern on that play. He was just able to plow through that secondary and defensive front. As you saw there, it took 2 players, and actually they were going up head-to-head on that play there. But, of course, Picciotti was just able to bulldoze them over, and obviously now they're in the situation here to pick up another first down.
Seems like Chris McKelvey is back in. And they're going to give it to Picciotti once more, and he picks up the first.
I think it's absolutely crucial that North Penn not give up any points here. At least if they do give up any points, hold them to a field goal. Don't allow them to get a touchdown, because that could be an extremely important boost here, and it could be the boost that proves to lift CB West over the top if they're able to get the touchdown here.
So I formation with the wing back. Oriole with the snap count. And handoff to DiGiacomo. And he picks up about 3 yards on the carry. Jason Alcott with a solid stop right there.
Really, besides that one, a few passing plays by Oriole, and of course that one big one, it's been the rushing game all night here for CB West. That's been putting these 2 points, and you really have to credit the rushing game with that other touchdown, the first touchdown in which they got on that play action, which the cornerback appeared to obviously just be blitzing.
Blomgren in motion, gives it to Picciotti, and he picks up about 3, and that'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Another 3rd and 2 situation. It's extremely hard to try to stop the CB West Bucks rushing game on short yards like this.
With about 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, CB West is not going to give up that rushing game, and they're just plugging away on those yards. And Picciotti, the lone back, and it's most likely they're going to go to him, and they do. And Picciotti running through, and seems like he picked up the first.
Yeah, he definitely did pick up the first down on that play. They able to just plow through the defensive line again. And you have to give credit to the CBUS Bucks team, who've done such an excellent job at building their program up. Of course, you know they have all of the feeder programs throughout the Bucksmont area or the Bucks County area, and of course, then that's proven as they've yielded a lot of fine, talented young players.
Oriole the keeper, and Steve Francis with the stop. And Steve Francis, he's just, when you see the defense, he just stands out.
Well, I'll tell you, half of the defense was fooled on that play, and Steve Francis could smell who was the ball there. He could smell who was running that ball, and he tracked him down and ripped him apart and yielded no yards on the ground there for Central Bucks West.
Steve Francis showing high consistency throughout the season and shows his athletic ability here in tonight's game. Blomgren in motion again. They give it to Picciotti, and he picks up about 3.
Now, G, it's important here now. You have a third down situation, and you have Central Bucks still has about 5 yards to go to get the first down. So what what North Penn must do is eliminate the middle ground game. I said it the whole time. They have to continue stack that front line, because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to try to mess with any. Central Bucks is not going to try to mess with any outside runs here. They're going to just send it right through the middle.
3rd and 5 for CB West. And Kapusta is having a little conversation with the ref. Now let's go down to Kyle and see what's going on the field. Kyle?
Yeah, guys, Mike Kapusta right there had a little blood on his elbow, and in PIAA you cannot play in a live play if you have blood. He had a little blood on his forearm, and he pretty much stopped the play on his own. He ran up to the official and said, hey, I got some blood. Kind of works to North Penn's benefit, gives the defense a little bit of a breath here, see if they can hold down on this third. Let's go up for the call.
So Mike Kapusta out, and they're sending Mike Yeager in. And they call a timeout.
North Penn, one thing that they have is very talented reserves on both sides of the ball. And so Mike Yeager will be able to fill the spot of linebacker, which of course will be absent by Mike Kapusta for a few downs as he cleans up his elbow on that play. But I'll tell you, they have some talented reserves.
With only about 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go, CB West is just running the clock down.
Gee, basically, that's probably one of their major influences right here. Try to not give North Penn any time to strike back here. But, of course, they know that they're only one touchdown up and that North Penn is just one couple of big plays away from tying this game up and sending it into overtime.
Polina and Picciotti in the backfield. They give it to Picciotti, and he gets stood up, and he keeps going.
I'll tell you, it's absolutely frustrating for the defense to watch what this kid is doing. He continues to bulldoze his way through the defensive line. They think they have him. He's picking up the first down, and he's able to translate those extra efforts into first downs and big yards on the play. So Coach Penn and Coach Beck have to be extremely frustrated in watching their defensive line struggle against him.
Timeout called by CB West.
I'll tell you, G, we have not seen 1 second of possession by North Penn here in the fourth quarter. 5:55 remaining, G, and they absolutely must get this ball back. They must not allow Central Bucks West to score a touchdown on this play.
CB West score here will ensure CB West win. With the offense that North Penn's playing so far and the defense that CB West is playing, I don't see North Penn coming back if North Penn gives up another 7 here in the fourth.
Well, G, in a way I agree with you, but I don't think you can ever count out this team. This North Penn Knight team is just so strapped on confidence. They have and of course, as I said before, they're loaded with talent. They have the confidence and the emotions, to be able to play this game, finish it through, and be able to possibly make a comeback here. But as you said, yes, that can be very detrimental here if CB West does convert for the touchdown on this play. And you're right, they do have to stop him here.
Now, you talked about emotions, Ken, and how does it feel to score about 200 points more than your opponents and allow CB West to be up two touchdowns to 1?
Well, G, I think it was the fact that, both teams, as I said before, are extreme talent, but they've been going up against teams that don't compare to each other. North Penn has been playing teams that basically they've been able to manipulate and control throughout the season, same with CB West. Now that these two powerhouses meet each other, both of them, I think you can say to both that this is an extremely low-scoring game for CB West and North Penn.
Pichotti just bulldozing his way through. If you saw that replay, it took about 5 white jerseys to bring him down. And Pichotti so far didn't commit to any schools yet.
No, he hasn't, Jay. It's quite surprising, but I'm sure he's trying to just keep his options open for himself. And, wherever this kid goes, you have to anticipate a bright future, at least in his college career.
3rd and 7 situation for CB West here. And let's go to Kyle Berger on the sideline update.
Well, G, you guys talked about Dustin Pichotti not committing to a Division I school as of yet. That really goes against a recent trend in PIAA football. A lot of guys, Dave Koslow committed early to Penn State, as did Chris McKelvey, as did Heike Johnson. One player for Council Rock, his name escapes me right now, he was a really highly rated and recruited lineman for Council Rock, and he didn't commit early to a Division I school. He pretty much had full rides lined up left and right for him, didn't commit, had a pretty bad regular season, and wound up playing Division II football. I don't think that's going to be the case with Dustin Pichotti, the way things are going this season, and especially tonight. I know there's a lot of college scouts here tonight watching him run around North Penn in circles. So let's go back upstairs. Big goal line stand coming up for North Penn, guys.
Thanks, Kyle. Dustin Pichotti, as we all know, that he rushed for over 2,000 yards last season and well over 1,000 yards this season. And tonight he's bulldozing his way through, and they give to GC Como, and he gets stood up. And that'll bring up 4th and 5. And are they going to go for it, or are they going to go for a field goal here?
Jay, I think you'll see that they'll bring out Tumulty here to try to kick the field goal. Put the 3 on, and I think that Coach Payton feels confident if they're able to get this field goal here, that will convert into what will be a hard time for North Penn in trying to come back and against the Central Bucks West Bucks.
With the hold, kick is away, and it's good. And they're up 17-7. And North Penn's gonna have to score twice to beat this team.
Well, as I said, North Penn, excellent job goal line stand and keeping Central Bucks from scoring a touchdown on that play. Like I said, if they have to, if CB West, if they have to allow CB West points, allow it in the air with a field goal.
Now with 4 minutes left, And 17 points could mean CB West win, but still, don't count the North Penn Knights out just yet.
Absolutely not. So far, we've been seeing an excellent job by Clay Kucklick in manipulating the secondary. He's really been anticipating the moves of the defensive backs and safeties, and he's been making some nice throws. So I would not be surprised to see a increase in passing plays in North Penn's next possession.
Now let's go to Kyle on the explanation and the analysis on the last kick. Kyle?
Well, guys, I don't have much analysis on the kick, but I have a lot of analysis on that third down play. Give to DiGiacomo was not necessarily to get a first down. It was a sweep to the right side of the field. The ball was on the left hash mark. They were just trying to set up a field goal for Tumulty. Got the ball to the center of the field, and it was just a chip shot for Bob, not a problem at all. And if you look at maybe like a 30-yard field goal from the left hash mark, not a given, definitely in high school, especially with the crown on this field. It slopes severely to the sideline. So getting that ball in the middle of the field for Tumulty was a big thing for CB West. Let's send it back upstairs.
Aaron Thomas with the return, doesn't get much.
And gee, just listen to Kyle there, and that's very surprising to hear that that's what the CB West was doing. And you'd think that they would attempt to try to pick up the first down and put them in a good goal line situation here, but they didn't. And Kyle, obviously, he had some good analysis on that play. As you saw there, that's exactly what they did. They brought in Tumulty to kick the field goal, just to set up there for him to put on the easy 3.
So here's the passing formation for North Penn. Trips right. And Clay Kucklick looking, has all the time in the world, but no receivers open. And he'll scramble. And he has some room. And he picks up about 4.
And I'll tell you, the off-season workout by Clay Kucklick really proved to be an extreme up for this North Penn team. You saw there, he had time to throw. Nice coverage by the secondary on the receivers on the trips right play. Tries to scramble outside to the weak side. And of course, what in most quarterbacks' case probably would have been a sack or a takedown, he turns it into a gain of about 4 on the play, which is actually a nice salvage of yards.
So that'll be 2nd and 6 for North Penn. Going with 4 wide receivers once more. Or 3, and they'll be low right. And he throws the interception to number 24.
I'll tell you, Jay, Clay Kucklick has got to be feeling pressure here. Right now, the burden of the win is on his shoulders. He tried to force the ball in there, but with no success. In fact, that pickoff could mean a big turnaround here for Central Bucks. It's really now forced North Penn in the hole that they have to dig themselves out of. But
North Penn has so far played good defense, but the offense is just killing them. And those 2 turnovers, one by Mike Kapusta and one just now, will be costly in the outcome of this game. And right now, all they have to do is run the clock out, and they're just going to run with Picciotti and just let the clock run out on its own. Kyle, let's go to Kyle Berger. And Kyle, I'm just at loss for words here.
Well, guys, what happened on that last play, and in fact the last 2 plays, Central Bucks West had no down linemen on defense. They were all dropped off the ball. They almost were playing a cover 11, if you will. And Clay Kucklick, he just had a sea of black jerseys to throw to, not many open nights. And really, I mean, you know, when you get down by more than a touchdown with a little time to go, you tend to force plays, and that might have been what just happened for North Penn. It's an unfortunate break, and it looks like if they're going to beat the Bucks, it's going to happen in the District 1 playoffs. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle.
Gee, I think what you're going to have to see here on North Penn's next possession, which most likely they will be able to get a possession, they have to be able to control the clock well. They have to be able to run the ball outside, outside, out plays, out patterns, get the receivers out and out of bounds, of course, on those plays, and be able to manipulate the clock. That's a big factor here with the shortage of time remaining.
And they give it to Picciotti, and he picks up the first. North Penn has to be frustrated, and they're going to be thinking about tonight as they go into the playoffs next week.
Absolutely. This loss is going to, it's really going to stick with them throughout this next week. But they have to put it behind them. They have to be able to put them behind them. They have to be able to focus on next week, because this in no way affects their home status for next week's game. And really, this team is extremely talented and well-talented enough to go far into the playoffs.
Now fans are starting to leave as time winds down. With only about a minute and 40 seconds to go, this Picciotti is just a killer for North Penn.
Yeah, and he did prove to be the killer fact here for North Penn. Against North Penn's struggling defensive line, he was able to bulldoze his way up slowly but surely, pick up the yards, pick up the first downs. And I'll tell you, you just have to wonder what would be the difference if this team didn't have him.
So North Penn at this point will not call a timeout. I'm not even sure if they have a timeout left. And the coaches are starting to leave, and they're going to give it to Picciotti. Once again, just bulldozing right through. So that will bring up 3rd and short. And CB West fans are on their feet.
CB West basically knowing that they have wrapped this game up here, wrapped it up with the win. This is a sour taste in the mouth of North Penn fans and North Penn players. Of course, as I said earlier, they cannot allow this to weigh them down in this upcoming game against Friday. Whoever they play, they have to focus on their task at hand, and that's going to be their opponent at home, might I remind you, at Crawford Stadium this coming Friday.
But I would like to praise those players out there still not giving up and giving their last effort.
This team is definitely not out of this running. They could come back here. I predict that they will have an excellent job. They will make hay while the sun shines, let's just say, in these upcoming playoff games. And I really think that these two teams are not seeing each other for the last time this season.
I sure hope so, Ken. And much as I would want to go out seeing North Penn win, it's CB West that wins it tonight, 17-7. And with all the fans that were here, and you can tell, but the fans over there giving a round of applause for North Penn players.
Yeah, they definitely deserve it, G. These kids have so much heart. They play with such emotion, and they're really a talented young group. And, you know, you really have to have high expectations as they go throughout these upcoming weeks against some pretty good teams.
So Coach Michael Pettin Jr., 0-4 against Coach Mike Pettin Sr. So the Knights fall 9-1, and they'll be second in the Suburban 1 National League. And Kyle is standing by with Coach Mike Pettin. Take it away, Kyle.
Okay, thanks, G. Coach, what do you learn from this loss to get into the playoffs and possibly with the rematch with Central Bucks West?
Well, it's certainly something we're going to have to take a look at the film, but I don't know. We're going to have to look at maybe with some personnel things. It's hard to tell at this point. We just didn't make big plays when we needed to. We had opportunities to make a stop, and had Picciotti stopped in a hole, and he makes a first down. It's frustrating. I think the fumble in the first half really hurt us when the ball got stripped from Kapusta. I mean, I think that really, going down 14-0 hurt us. Obviously, we came back, showed some character in the second half. Unfortunately, couldn't get a stop late, down here either before they kicked the field goal. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating. We couldn't make big plays at a big time when we had to.
Were you guys caught off guard by any of the play calling by your father?
No, not really. I mean, I think the one coverage we had a guy, thought, just busted a coverage. It wasn't he was looking in the backfield. He just didn't think he had that guy on their first touchdown. It was kind of a freebie. So it's frustrating. But the sun will come up tomorrow. We have a home playoff game next week. And if we take care of business, you know, I think we'll be wiser for the rematch.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Lots of luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, G, back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Now you heard Coach Penn saying that they knew they were going to run with Picciotti, and North Penn defense just couldn't get it done. But we still have to praise and give a round of hand to North Penn defense that played well, especially Steve Francis, who aided the defense in stopping Dustin Picciotti and other breakaway runs that could have given CB West more points.
Yeah, I tell you, this Dogs Francis on this field has been a complete surprise. You would have never expected him from Dogs Francis. You would have never expected this in the beginning of the season, but he's proved that he's a defensive threat, and he really is a one-man threat on the field. He can really make some nice plays for this North Penn defense.
Okay, with 17 points for CB West and 7 for North Penn, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with the final stats. Stay tuned.
Fire safety.
Did you know that many fires started because kids played with matches and lighters?
It's really sad. The fire started with matches and lighters hurt thousands of people last year.
Like parents and grandparents?
And brothers and sisters. If you ever see matches or lighters, don't touch them.
Uh-oh! Somebody left out matches and a lighter.
Remember,
Wow!
keep your eyes open, and if you see these, tell a grown-up right away. But never touch them, and you'll be a real superhero.
Like a deputy fire marshal?
Exactly.
Don't touch matches or lighters. Tell a grown-up instead. Be cool about fire safety. Be cool.
When you buy disposable products for your home, you're really saying, it's okay to deplete natural resources. So when they tell you to buy stuff that's reusable, you tell them you'd rather throw it all away. Buy smart, waste less, save more.
Welcome back to War Memorial Field, and Kyle Berger is standing by with Coach Mike Pettin Sr. down on the field.
Actually, G, I got somebody a little bit younger. It's Mike Oriole, the Central Bucks West Bucks quarterback. Mike, good game out there. Was it everything you expected from the North Penn defensive side?
We knew we were going to be tough, facing a very tough North Penn team this year. They stayed with us for a lot of the game. I think our defense just did a great job shutting them down in the first half. Came out a little soft in the second half. We picked it up towards the end. That field goal by Bob Tumley really ended the whole game. And we just tried to play power football against them.
Now, that third down play you ran with DiGiacomo to the middle of the field, was that more or less to set up Tumulty's field goal?
We were trying to get the first down. We wanted to score. We wanted to put them away. And then we knew that the field goal was always in the back of our minds, but we really wanted the first down to score.
And finally, just take me through that touchdown pass you had, a little play fake. When you have Dustin Picciotti in the backfield, it's a luxury. You know, you run him all day, back to back to back, and then you pop the play action on him, and he just caught him off guard.
Yeah, me and Dust had a great mesh on that one, great fake. And I just came out, I saw Ted, I just had to just lay it up for him. He just ran under, made a great catch. That's what happened.
Did you guys have a feeling that you would be able to beat North Penn deep?
We knew that if we came together as a team and played CB West football, we'd beat them. But we knew that anything could happen playing on War Memorial, so we just went out and hoped for the best.
Okay, Mike, best of luck to you in the playoffs. Let's send it back upstairs.
Thanks, Kyle. So North Penn goes home losers, but winners in heart. 17-7 final score, and that'll be it here at War Memorial Field. And this is G. Yoon along with Ken Myers and Kyle Berger. Wait, and we have Heike Johnson before we go. Kyle?
Okay, thanks, G. Yeah, down here with Heike Johnson. Heike, just a tough game. It looked like the holes weren't there for you tonight.
I mean, yeah, they're a great team, and we thought we prepared well enough for them, but probably could have played a little better up front. I mean, we have to play great against a team like this. I mean, you can't have mental mistakes.
What did you guys try to do at halftime to adjust to the defensive setup at CB West?
Well, we just wanted to take it at them. We didn't really make any adjustments. We thought we matched up well with them up front. And in the second half, I thought we came out a little fired up, and we did. And we got on the board, and it was just a little bit too late.
Where does the team go from here now after a loss to end the regular season, a chance to go undefeated? But, you know, you have a home game coming up next week. You look to win that one and then get another crack at the Bucks?
Well, basically, we just go back to the drawing board, you know. We prepare for our next opponent. We got to put this one behind us and come out more fired up than this week, and hopefully we'll come out with a victory.
Okay, thanks a lot, Heike. Good luck to you. Back upstairs.
Heike Johnson, the star running back of North Penn, not being able to get much yardage today.
Well, as you saw in the second half there, North Penn able to yield 36 yards on the ground, but even more yards in the air with 40 passing yards. That one turnover did affect them greatly in the second half. Of course, CB West now with 114 rushing yards in the second half, but only 3 passing yards in the air, but no turnovers.
Now, Kyle standing by with Dustin Picciotti, the star fullback for CB West. Kyle?
All right. Thanks, G. Here with Dustin Picciotti. Dustin, another big win for you guys. How do you rate this? You've been a part of 3 Central Bucks wins over North Penn in a row. How does this rate?
I feel it's probably the biggest win yet. I mean, they're a great team. I mean, we just came out all fired up, and I mean, they're a great team. Can't take nothing away from them. We just came out and played our kind of game, and played great on defense, and just start driving the ball on offense.
Now, you look ahead maybe 2 weeks from now, you have another matchup with North Penn if things go as they're supposed to, based on the seedings, which you never know is going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you guys go back to the drawing board and line up a whole new offensive game plan because you think they might be sitting on you?
I don't know. We'll see what he has to. If we do play them, probably will happen. They're a great team. I don't know what it'll do. Coach Capetin will just think of something up. Hopefully it'll work.
Real quickly, your offensive line really seemed to open up the holes for both you and Digicomo tonight.
They blew off the ball, and they were just making great holes for me. I mean, we gotta thanks them a lot. I mean, we just came off the ball and just drove it down the throat, I guess. But they're a great team. Got a lot of good players.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dustin. That's Dustin Picciotti, who went over 1,000 yards on the season tonight, getting mobbed by his friends behind me as I speak. And your final score, once again, is 17-7 Central Bucks West. Let's send it up to G and Ken in the press box.
Thanks, Kyle. Now we have CB West with 258 total yards, with North Penn with only 106 yards total, and that was the difference. And CB West comes out on top, 17-7, to take this one and take the league title to go into the playoffs next week. And thanks a lot, Kyle, for the sideline reports and good analysis on those plays. And this is G. Yoon along with Ken Myers, and we'll say goodbye until next week from Memorial Field. This is North Penn Television.